Good evening, popular astronomers, and something's happened to my backdrop. If you look behind the cosmic microwave backdrop, you will actually see that it is just a brown headboard. So let me just realign myself. What's happening? It goes the opposite way. Oh, that's because I was messing around. There we go. That's better now. There we go. Good evening, popular astronomers. I didn't work with. I went to school with a lad who used to say popular astronomers. Love you, Gary Rigby. Okay, start sharing the feed, please. We're going to play not the countdown music, a very important message that you will enjoy and hopefully be mesmerized and hypnotized by. So, here it comes.
When I first started being interested in astronomy, it was just a question of looking up at the night sky, and it is spectacular even if you don't know what you're looking at. But at some point, very quickly, you decide that you want to know more, and the more you know, the more wonderful it gets. SPA has been helping people into astronomy to understand what they're looking at more than 50 years.
As Brian says, the SPA is a great way to start or accelerate your astronomical adventure. We spoke to our new president, Professor Andrew Coates. Why should people join the SPA?
Well, the SPA is really important to join. It's probably the best society for entry-level astronomers in the UK. And the SPA gives you so many benefits. There's, of course, the magazine. It's great for young stargazers. My colleague Lucy is the chief stargazer.
We have a packed section for the junior stargazer.
Hello, I'm Lucy Green, I'm Chief Stargazer, and it's my role to help you all enjoy the fun of astronomy.
If you want to make new astro friends, our interactive chat show is the ideal place.
Then you just float, and it's like that feeling when you're just floating in a pool.
There are so many reasons to join the SPA. What will yours be?
Strongly recommend, if you want to learn a bit more, you join the SPA. I'll go to the website popastro.com.
Plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug, plug the mug. I've now got a basket full of SPA gear, so that's very good. Oh, look who's asleep in the basket. Shh, shh, shh. Boo! He's still fast asleep. Right, okay, look, plug the mug. We had Stirry Night last week. That's the basic gear edition. We won this one. I do believe this is the one that Sonia has got. I've got stars in my eyes and also pencils if I'm not very careful. This is beautiful. It's available from the Pop Astro shop, as are lots of lovely things, such as, oh, look what we've got. This is very relevant for this evening. Oh, careful of the blue tack. Look. This is relevant to our guest who's coming on in a little short while. What's happening in the chat room? Let me fix this banner up first. Oh, I've eaten so much apple pie and custard. I can feel it. It's just making its way down below my belt line at the minute. We've known each other for long enough for me to be able to tell you that I feel like I've just swallowed a cannonball with custard on it. Right, okay, so where's me little... That's what we want. This is the Pop Astro Live Supernova Spotter Special, and you're going to find out why just shortly. Please consider joining. We're having a price hike. It's a very small price rise in October. It's still outstanding value for money. Let me know if you can hear me. My microphone's quite far away just because of my new configuration. It'd be lovely if you could join us. Cosmo, we've got a twist for Cosmo this evening. Wake up, Cosmo, wake up, my sleeping little sloth, wake up. Instead of flying off around the universe on an upside down frisbee, he's been dancing on the keyboard and is going to be giving his anagram. So stay tuned for that. Get a pen and pencil ready now, because the person to get the most anagrams correct wins. It's a very amazing prize. A Wall of Death motorbike ride around an upturned Jodrell Bank radio telescope dish. So you really want to try and win that one. Wow, 7 comments. Let's have a look. Loud and clear. Thank you, Ray. Oh, Ray, I've still not replied to your email. Cosmo has been hogging the keyboard, learning all his little dance routines to spell out the anagrams. That's my excuse anyway. Possible, a meteor impact image on Jupiter by a South African. Wow. Okay, that's great news. An amateur astronomer. This is why it pays to be an amateur astronomer, because you might spot something so incredible that your name goes down in history. Now I'm been buried beneath an avalanche of SPA merch. Let's just move that. Okay. Good evening, Vicky. Since a long time since I've been on due to Tuesday's been more difficult. Oh, that'd be lovely. We'd love to have you back, Michael. Gwyneth, yes. Hoodoo, I can hear you too. I'm glad that you can all hear me. Evening all. Oh, look at all these comments. I could just do a whole show out of the comments. Been in since it was the confusingly named Jazz. It was the Jazzy Jazz. Jed, top points to you. He's corrected the spelling of my name. I'm just too polite to say that every week you get it wrong. So that's lovely. And Ian's not done a typo either. I love it when you spell my name. Thank you. Good evening, Vicky and Cosmo. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. So tonight we've got a very special guest. He's our supernova spotter. He is Astronomer Tom Bowles. He holds the record for the most supernovae spotted by an individual. I thought that said he's the astronomer royal, but he's not. He's astronomical royalty, my own words. And we've rolled out the red carpet all the way from Anglesey all the way to Suffolk. I guess it's in about that direction over there. Tom has also written a novel called Dark Energy, an adventure novel starring fictional astronomer Brad Willis. Eleni is not here this week. She is working on her master's. Go girl, get top marks. And Sonia will be joining us back from her amazing escapades, birthdays and anniversaries and visits to Cadbury World. Wonderful escapades from Sunshine Sonia. But this week she's just back with the observing forecast. And in a crazy turn of events, Tom will be grilling Cosmo, not on the barbecue, sadly, and asking Cosmo a couple of space questions. So how will Cosmo convey such grand answers when he's a mute, stuffed sloth? Only time will tell. And there is another record-breaking astronomer doing... Oh, my throat's very tight. I've just done my vocal warm-ups, and now I feel like I've never had asthma before. I can imagine this is how it feels. Maybe I should speak less on my day of broadcasts. Mark Thompson from Stargazing Live and a proud ambassador for Barnardo's is attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the longest marathon lecture. I have only been speaking for 8 minutes and my throat is hurting and my concentration's already waning. He's attempting to do 5 days. He's attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the longest marathon lecture. He's aiming to talk for over 139 hours, 42 minutes and 56 seconds, all in aid of Barnardo's. And you can donate to him. Go over to his channel after the show is finished and give him some support. Wow. The longest I've ever stayed up is 3 nights at a festival, and it took me about a year to recover. So I don't want to do that again. It's an incredible feat. Mark, we wish you all of the best of luck, and I'll be hopping on over to donate shortly. Okay, we're going to go over to supernova spotter astronomer Tom Bowles. Hey, Tom.
Hello, Vicky. Good to see you.
Oh, thank you. How are you, my love?
I'm very well, thank you.
We've prepared for this behind the scenes. You've got your lovely Damien Peach image. What is that beautiful image behind you, Tom?
That's lovely. That's well, the bright thing is Mars, but there's the Lagoon Nebula and the Trifid Nebula. And it's the same image I used for the cover of the book. So Damien gave me permission, very thankfully, to use it as a cover. So that's it.
Oh, great. Well, we're going to come to that in a minute. Now, first of all, now I know you're quite fond of this chap, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he and me go back a long, long way.
At least to yesterday afternoon.
At least to yesterday afternoon, definitely.
So Cosmo, you know, he normally flies around the solar system on his upturned Frisbee, and he's got an anagram for the popular astronomers. So we'll do the anagram. And while we're chatting, they can be answering the anagram if that's all right with you.
That's okay, yeah.
Actually, that's a really easy anagram now I'm looking at it. I suspect somebody's going to answer this one. So do your little dance on the keyboard, Cosmo. Tap, tap, tap. Don't press anything stupid. Here we go. First one to answer in the chat. That's your anagram, and we're going to talk.
Whoa.
And that's stupidly easy. What was I thinking? Cosmo, what were you thinking? We've got several more of these coming up in a minute. So whereabouts are you then, Tom?
Whereabouts am I? I'm in Coddenham in Suffolk. One of the nicest places in England.
Is it really? I'm going to Google it. No, I won't, because it breaks our internet. What's pretty about it? What's pretty about it?
Well, the skies are nice and dark. The
Right.
village I live in has only got one street light, and it's about half a mile away from where I live. So that's absolutely perfect for astronomy.
That is really, really good. I'm just trying to fix my microphone a little bit closer, but I don't think I can. It's I've got a new desk set up, so that's great. And what prompted the move out there, Tom?
The dark skies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd started to look for supernova when I lived in Wellingborough. But Wellingborough is a weird place. The lowest rates in the country. But the reason why it had the lowest rates is the council sold all the land around the town to distribution depots and things, and they had nothing but orange security lights surrounding the whole town. So I got out of there pretty quickly.
Okay, so Tom, I've just had an email off Alan here. Breaking news. If you get a chance, check your emails. I just sent you a newsflash email about a new impact seen on Jupiter, as the Spanish call it, by an amateur. Let me just have a quick look at that. I'm just digging behind the scenes. Tell us about your supernova spotting, Tom, please.
Well, I started it way back, and oh gosh, it must have been over 20 years now. And I started off very basic. When the very first automated telescopes came out, when Meade brought out the first 10-inch, I used that. And I used a Terry Platt Starlight Express, but it took ages. I could manage probably checking about 20 galaxies an hour, which, I made my first discovery that way, but there was almost a year between discoveries. And then technology moved on. There was better mounts and better cameras too. And finally, I got it up to about 110 supernovae an hour. 110 galaxies an hour. And that's using 3 telescopes simultaneously. And, you need to do that in the UK because we don't get that many clear skies, not that many cloudless skies. And so we need to make use of every single clear hour that we possibly get to discover supernovae. So that's how I did it. So it's really a very repetitive process. What you do, you take an image of a galaxy, you compare it with an old image that you take, and you just look for differences. And if you're lucky enough to get software that can blink the 2 images together, then it makes it a lot easier and a lot faster. So you cannot, but it does mean you're visually checking every single image that you take. And, I think when I worked out, I've taken something like 500,000 pictures of galaxies over the time that I've been looking for supernovae. And I've discovered 155 supernovae. So if you do the arithmetic, that's roughly about every one discovery every 3,000 images. So if you work it out, it's about 90 seconds for an image. That's a lot of hours.
Well, as it happens, I've been sifting through your data and I've written you a song.
Oh.
Containing all of those facts. So let me just go. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I think it should play like this. Turn up your speakers, everybody. This is my tribute to Tom's amazing endeavors. It's a fast-moving piece of music. It's got a lot in it. Turn it up, have a rock out, and there was something I was going to say about it. Well, I hope you enjoy it, Tom. I'm sure what I was going to say will come shortly.
Can I get up and dance while you're doing it?
I think, that's it. Right, okay, yeah. It's inspired by ABBA slightly, and also by a dance music band called Daft Punk, which I think you'll hear all that in it if you are into your music. Are you ready for it?
Okay. Right.
There's one every second in the universe. A cataclysmic boom, both the death and birth. And you want to know who spotted more than any individuals? Roll out the star-spangled carpet for astronomer Tom Bowles. It takes 2 minutes to check an image with 500,000 searched. That's 17,000 hours of squinting to see a supernova glinting. He's the supernova spotter. The secrets of the universe are scrawled in his jotter. And when they're gone, they may leave neutron stars or black holes. So let's hear it for the number one spotter, astronomer Tom Bowles. Supernova. Star Factory Productions. Put the showbiz in your space biz. Hey.
That is excellent. Way.
Oh, thank you very much.
Big round of applause for that. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Tom. We'll play it again at the end for you if I remember.
Yeah.
Jog my memory. I think we covered
Can I
all
get the
balls.
CD? Can I get the CD copy of it? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like that. I think it just goes to show the amount of dedication you have to put in these things. Do you get a lot of backache from hunching over?
No, because really, you have breaks sort of every half an hour or so. You get repetitive stress injury in your hands and stuff. So I used to get up and walk around a little bit and then come back and sit down again. I would run the patrols that I ran sort of an hour at a time. So there's 24 hours from 0 to 23 hours in the sky. So I used to run an hour at a time. And they would take me sort of, I don't know, maybe half an hour to check those. And then I'd get up and have a walk around, come back and do another batch, and then another half an hour walk around, and then yet another batch. So, yeah, it worked out quite well.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So where'd you get your data from then?
I didn't have any data. I took my own images.
Is it your own images?
Yeah, took my own. Well, what I used to do is I used to take an image then when I was comparing it. If the new image was better than the old image, I used to replace the old image with the new image. And I kept doing that until all the images I had in my master file were the best possible images that I'd ever taken. And so it worked out quite well that way. So, yeah, it's good.
So do you have like a methodical way to scan the sky, or do you just point and shoot wherever?
No, I go from the zenith right down to the equator, then back up to the zenith and down to the equator again. The secret is to get your telescope moving as little as possible, because the less a telescope moves, or the less it has to move between galaxies, the quicker it can slow and the quicker it settles down, because you need a sort of 5 or 10 second delay between the telescope settling and then taking the next image. Otherwise, you get shake in the mount. Even the best made mounts have got a little bit of shake in them. So, yeah, the secret's to do that. And of course, you got to select your galaxies correctly as well. You start off with all the face-on open galaxies, because those are the ones that's the easiest to see the supernovae in, because there's no dust and muck getting in the way. And then you look at some of the more angled ones, and then the edge-on ones, yep, that's it. And by the time you get to the edge-on ones, there's a whole line of dust breaking up the image for you. So seeing supernova in those are a bit more difficult. And then, of course, you can go into elliptical galaxies. But if you go to elliptical galaxies, you don't tend to see type 2 supernova or core collapse type supernova. You tend to get type 1As there. And so it does limit the actual number of supernovae you'd expect to find in that galaxy.
So what type of supernovae are there then?
Well, there are two basic types. There's a type 1A, which is the type of supernova that you get when two stars are rotating around each other, and one of them sort of plagiarizes gas off the other, and it gets by a critical mass and it explodes. So that's a type 1A. And then there's the core collapse supernovae. Those are the ones when a massive star uses up its energy and it just impacts, it collapses under its own weight, and then it bounces, and that's what creates the supernova. Yeah, just like the Crab Nebula. Yeah. And you know that was in 1054 that one went off, and we can still see it today, just north of the constellation of Orion. So it's coming back round into the sky again, ready for the winter.
I'm just reading this. It's by far the strongest source of gamma radiation in the sky.
Ooh.
So
you know, at one time when people were studying astronomy, there used to be a saying that there was astronomy, and then there was astronomy of the Crab Nebula, and almost all researchers are almost split up 50-50 between researching the Crab Nebula and then doing all the other research in astronomy. So
really?
Two distinct schools, yeah.
It's such a notable object that you can dedicate your career to it?
You can indeed.
So what else is amazing about the crab then? Let's talk a little bit more about this thing and what we're looking at here.
Well, it's got a pulsar in the center and it emits radio waves. Oh, that's a 3D picture. I've just spotted that.
Good, yeah. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. And it emits radio waves very, very fast at millisecond rates. But the thing about the Crab Nebula, it's so close that since we started imaging it, and if we look at an old image and a new image, we can actually see the gas expanding. So we can see the difference between what it was sort of, 100 years ago and what it is today. And
yeah, I think if you've been to an astronomy lecture, which I've started to do a lot, as probably most of us have, and that is quite a common thing to see, is that little comparison between the crab kind of doing its
thing. Yes.
Its thing, yeah.
Yeah. And there's some nice movies formed now where you can actually see the pulsar pulsing and watch the waves of light moving out from the center of it. Very smart too. So some of my old supernova images, the master images that I get, when I look at it and compare it with a recent one, I can actually see stars moving, the proper motion of stars. And, over the sort of 20 years that I've been doing it, you can actually see the changes in the position of the stars. It's quite interesting. So the first time you spot it, you think, oh, there's another meteor, another asteroid in the field. And then you check it out and just find it's a star with a pretty high proper motion. So that's it.
Ooh, well, this is exciting. We've got breaking astronomy news. Sadly, it's not Betelgeuse going supernova, but an amateur called Marc Delcroix. I'm not going to read that. You can read that while it's on the screen. Viewers.
I saw a picture of the impact this afternoon, and it's really quite clear.
Is it?
There's a nice white dot right in the left-hand side of Jupiter's center. There was no after effect. There was no scar that formed the same as got formed with Schumacher-Levy 9. But then you don't tend to get scars formed with the smaller impacts. But yeah, that was a really good discovery and very serendipitous that you happened to be looking at it just at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Tom, tell us some advice for our lovely popular astronomers about how they too could see or spot a supernova. And also, are they named? Do you get to name every single one, or are they just catalogue numbers?
No, they're just a catalogue of numbers. What they do? They start off. They call it, like, if you discover one this year, 2021A, capital A, would be the first one in the year, and 21B would be the next one. And then it would go to 21 small a, and small a, small b. And, some of the big surveys now are discovering so many supernovae that they're running into 3 and 4 figures after the year. So, it's getting very complicated. And it's getting very difficult to follow some of the supernovae up. I mean, the peak when I was doing it, I was getting spectra done for nearly every supernova that I discovered. But nowadays, it's becoming more difficult. They tend to use filters more to help categorize the supernovae because the quantity is so great. They need to find a sort of shortcut method of doing it. So, yeah.
And there really is about one. Sorry, there's a slight delay. I do apologise. There's one about every second.
There would be if you looked at the whole of the universe, but that's a big challenge. They reckon you get one every 50 years in each galaxy, but you never ever see one every 50 years because the dust is in the way and other stars are in the way and gas clouds get in the way. So it's a bit less than one every 50 years. And of course, in our own Milky Way, we're well overdue getting a supernova. So just keep looking up into the sky, folks, and sort of watch the constellations closely, because when it happens, it's going to be bright. I think they reckon that Betelgeuse is going to be a supernova, but I think they've stretched it out a little bit more. But it'll probably take a bit longer before it becomes a supernova than what we originally expected. But still, it could happen anytime.
Oh, it could.
Yeah.
So, Tom, thank you for your advice on supernovas. I'll play your song again in a minute, because, to be honest, I put way too much effort into that just to play it once.
Oh, the graphics are terrific too. I love the graphics.
Oh, thank you. Now, you've got... first of all, tell us what equipment you're using, please. Did I ask you that, or did I just dream it?
I didn't ask
that.
I used 3 C17 Celestron Schmidt-Cassegrain reflectors and 3 Paramounts. And the Paramounts are really excellent. And I used the same software suite that came with the telescope. So I used the Sky 5 software suite to point the telescope, take the image, and whatnot. I used Apogee AP7 cameras. And the reason why I used those is because they've got huge big pixels on them, 24 micron pixels. And they're useless really for taking pretty pictures like the one that Damien took at the back. But because the pixels are so big, they're really fast. I mean, I think if you worked out their ASA value, it'd work out about 200,000 ASA or something. So it meant when you take an image of a galaxy in seconds, you're getting down to 18th, 19th, 20th magnitude sometime, depending on the sky. And the camera is as much as important a tool for you as the telescope and the mount. So it is important to choose a really fast camera.
Great stuff, Tom. Well, we're going to have Sunshine Sonia do the weather forecast in a minute, a couple more anagrams from Cosmo, and then we're going to join you for information about your amazing astronomical involvement in various societies over the years, and we'll chat about your book.
Okay,
see you in a bit. Oh, no, your song. Hang on. Wait a minute. Where is the magic song? Oh, it's in a new place, so I've got to press that. Tell you what, 18 months of doing these broadcasts, and it's still like doing a giant puzzle. Share video file, and here is the song again for your delectation. There's one every second in the universe, a cataclysmic boom, both the death and birth. And you want to know who spotted more than any individuals? Roll out the star-spangled carpet for Astronomer Tom Bowles. It takes 2 minutes to check an image with 500,000 searched. That's 17,000 hours of squinting to see a supernova glinting. He's the supernova spotter. The secrets of the universe are scrawled in his jotter. And when they're gone, they may leave.
I'm not singing.
Black holes. So let's hear it for the number one spotter, Astronomer Tom Bowles. There you go. There you go. Oh, hang on. Let's start it again. There we go. Thank you, Tom.
Excellent.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, love. See you in about 10 minutes. I can see Sonia frantically shoveling food into her mouth. Okay. See you later.
Okay.
Bye, Tom. Oh, we've missed Sonia so much. But first of all, Sonia, you've probably got time for 2 more mouthfuls while we do Cosmo's anagram. Come on, Cosmo, dance on the keyboard. Dance on the keyboard. Dance on the keyboard. There is your anagram. And we're going to go over to Sonia right now. Hello.
Hi.
Oh. We've missed you, Sonia.
I've just been here.
Well, you've been having
I've
a
been-
lovely time, though.
I've been so busy. It's mine and Peter's birthdays have been and gone. And then next week, I'm not on because we're away for our wedding anniversary. So it's all happening. September's always such a busy month for us.
Give us a little rundown of all the lovely things you've been doing, because to be fair, you've been the star of my Facebook in the past couple of weeks.
Oh, well, my birthday started on the Saturday. Not the Saturday not gone, but the one before. And we had cocktails and an evening meal in Cloud 23 in Hilton, which is overlooking the whole of Manchester, which was amazing. Make sure you save up if you ever go there, though. The cocktails are very expensive. And then Sunday, it was eat chocolates at Cadbury World. And then Monday, it was then going as many rounds as you can within a whole day of Alton Towers. And then Tuesday, it was Peter's birthday. And then Wednesday, some friends took us out for meals, for birthdays. And Thursday, Friday was sort of a last day. And then the Saturday just gone, it was Peter's dad's birthday. So it was more meals and more pubs yesterday for Sunday. For his birthday. So sort of a rest week this week.
Well, Sonia, it's so nice. And somebody's asking, where's the cat?
Oh, they're not in tonight, so I think they're already in next door. So yeah, not seeing them today. I'm so sorry. I do, when I come home from work, I do open the conservatory door and call them in, but they're not in tonight, I'm afraid.
Oh, Sonia, it's so lovely to see you now. You don't have your presentation. We're going straight over to the weather. That's right, isn't it?
We are, yes.
Let me play your music. I'll play your music for you. Because somebody was just asking, have you got your song? And yes, she has. I think I'm the only one who doesn't have a song. Could someone write a song for me, please? I don't really feel like writing a song for myself. Someone write a song for me that I could use, please. Here it comes. Here's Sonia's weather jingle. Will it be cloudy? Will it be sunshine? Will there be hurricanes? Sonia's been checking out the jet stream and the humidity. Is it safe to get my telescope out, or will it blow over and bend? Well, Sonia's here with all the answers, my starry-eyed astronomer friend. There you go. Not even knowing on the drumming weatherman has got that intro.
Fabulous. Right then, before I start, if anyone is watching Mark Thompson's lecture, he is over 80 hours now. I think he gets his net sleep at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for 90 minutes. He is trying to beat the world record of around 139 point something hours. So I think he is going to attempt 140 plus hours. So he started Friday midday and he finishes sometime after 7:30 then in the morning on Friday. So please go to Mark Thompson, astronomy.com, have a look. And if you can, please donate. He has reached just under £6,000 for Bernardo's that he is also an ambassador for. So go watch him on YouTube. He's YouTube 24/7 live as well.
I'm going to write him a song tomorrow, Sonia.
We will have to see. Well, give him some time, a bit of rest afterwards. We'll have to see if he can come on and talk about how it went and get some background. I think.
I want to know, like, will the record attempt be over if he falls asleep in front of everybody for longer than 5 minutes? Is that it then? Like Norris McWhirter?
It is, yes. So he gets. So if he doesn't, so he has to still talk, but if anything after 30 seconds, it's classed as a break. So he has within 30 seconds to talk. If you're watching him now, he is, bless him, he is dragging a bit, but he is still going, he's still smashing it. So he can have 10-minute breaks every 2 hours, but what he's doing is having 5-minute breaks every 2 hours, so he accumulates sleep. So he can have 3 90-minute sleeps throughout this record attempt. So his next one is due, I think, is early morning tomorrow morning for 90 minutes.
Do you know what? It just goes through me, honestly. It just goes through me to know that he's doing this. It's an amazing record, but I once was in a world record, and you know what, Sonia? It was lovely. I was at the Vancouver Science Centre, which is right down on their incredible glittering waterfront, and I was inside the most people inside one bubble, and that's my kind of record.
Yes, I don't think I know when I did it with Mark, we did 24 hours, and that did me when we did the 24-hour stay awake. And yeah, I couldn't do that myself. So to go over from, for 7 days is really good, and it's research as well, scientific research into sleep deprivation. So he's got things on his head, he's taking his temperature, rectal thermometers, he's taking tablets.
Thermometer?
Yeah, he is having thermometers for his temperature.
Rectal.
He's having tablets. He takes tablets as well that do everything in his body to see how sleep deprivation is. So bless him. Hopefully he'll get his 90 minutes sleep tonight.
Right, Sonia, let's have your forecast.
So we're not actually looking too bad this week at all, to be honest. Apart from the rain today, so we're looking at Wednesday night's probably the best night for seeing at the moment. There is some light cloud about, but it is going to be mainly dry. You've probably got northern Scotland with some rain, but tomorrow night is looking good. Going to Thursday, it is not too bad. The whole of England looks to be clear at the moment tomorrow night, where the island's starting to get some rain coming from the west, the same as northern England. So Thursday night's pretty good as well. And then when we go into Friday, slowly that weather front moves over England and Scotland. So Friday, it's not looking too good unless you want to go out at 1 o'clock in the morning. Saturday night is looking extremely good as well. It's not looking a too bad week at all. A few dribs and drabs of rain near Edinburgh, east side of the coast of Scotland, west coast of Ireland, and then we go into Sunday. It's like half and half, so straight down the middle we have rain, and then the west of England, the east of England, and Scotland's island doesn't look too bad at all. We go into Monday, again, it's looking pretty good, and maybe a bit of drizzle in the Midlands, but it's not looking a pretty bad week. So at the moment, the jet stream is sort of like to the west of us. It's not slightly over us.
Is that good, Sonia? Is that good at the minute? Because it's very calm and placid here at the minute.
Yeah, so that's why we've not got the rain yet. Rain much, so it's more settled. And then as we go through the week, it starts to split. So we'll have some half south, half north. And then as we go on to Saturday and Sunday, it starts to creep north of the UK. And then as we go on to Monday, Tuesday, it's like half and half. So half from like, I say northern England is like the jet stream, and then southern England is no jet stream. And then as we carry on through the week, the whole jet stream's just over us. It just looks like a bit of a mess by the time we come to a week on Saturday, that jet stream. As far as the heat wave is concerned, the GFs that you did send me, they have now changed. So it is going to be not as warm as what the GFs, especially the 12Z, have run at the moment. So it is showing yellow, light orange, not the very dark at the moment now. That has all changed. So it's not going to be as warm as what was anticipated, I'm afraid, with the heat wave. But it still looks like it'll be quite mild for this time of year. So there we go.
Oh, it's been lovely today. I've been on the beach. It was as hot as a summer's day today, and I'm probably quite brown. And I've been for a beautiful swim on our incredible beach here. So I'm happy.
We didn't anything like that. We had some rain this morning, and then it was cloudy, and then we had some sunshine, and then I think it's like when I looked out earlier, it was a bit of partly cloudy. So nothing like that here.
Sonia, thank you so much, and hopefully next week we'll be back to normal with Eleni and you in your full Sunshine Sonia mode.
Oh, I'm not here next week.
Oh, God, speak too soon. All right, well, we all love you very much, Sonia.
Oh, love you all.
Bye. See you soon. Thank you very much for coming on, Sonia, and that brilliant forecast. Bye. Cosmo's waving. Right, we're going to go straight back to Tom. Oh, no, we've got Cosmo's anagram. Wow, the fan's in my computer. I'm just wondering whether it's because I've got need to prop my laptop up a bit better. Right, one last anagram. I've made these anagrams way too easy for you. What was I thinking? Hopefully this last one. Cosmo dance on the keyboard. Cosmo do an anagram. Off you go. Well done, Ian Baker, who got the last one right. Well done. Anagram. Bebe Geni Zulu. Bebe Geni Zulu. Wherever that may be in the world. Sounds like a pretty cool country. Tom, we're coming back to you. Hi, Tom.
Yeah.
You are so lucky because you get to be a double guest for the evening.
Oh, that's terrific. If I'd only known, I could have put more makeup on and get myself all polished up. Never mind.
You're looking great. You are looking great. So tell us, your history in astronomy goes back a long way. Tell us about your involvement with various societies.
I joined, would you believe it, the Junior Astronomical Society way back in 1960, I think it was. Do you remember this magazine?
Well, let's have a look.
The Junior Astronomer. The Junior Astronomer.
Let's have a close look. Let me just make you full screen with that.
Yeah. And the date is January 1960.
That's really beautiful. That's like heritage.
Yeah, that was the Society's journal. There's a picture of Patrick Moore inside it when he was a very young man. Let's get it. There is. Whoops. There is there.
Very good.
Yeah. And then in January 61, the name changed to Hermes.
I'm surprised it ever got delivered if they go by anything like their name, say the courier company.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Let's see. Mr. Numbers is here.
There's 3 generations of the Society's magazine all together sitting. Look at that. Oh. Got that one turned around. There it goes. No, I've got this one turned around.
Lovely. That's so lovely that you have been such a fundamental part of the society over the years. So you really are astronomical royalty.
Well, I used to live in Glasgow when I joined, and we started. There used to be groups within the JAS, and we started the Glasgow group of the Junior Astronomical Society in 1961, I think it was. And we had several members, so it was all good fun. And we used to meet in people's houses, and that was it. So,
and you were also an ex-president of the United States of America. No, sorry, the BAA, not the USA.
The BAA, yeah, that was 2003. I did my sort of 2 years as president of the British Astronomical Association. That was a fun time as well. So. Yeah, that was good. So yeah, and I've done talks around most societies in the UK. I don't do so many now, but I used to go out sort of sometimes twice a week and do talks, and yeah, it was quite fun. And in later years, I actually got involved in cruise ships, giving talks on cruise ships. Now that is fun. I gave talks on the Queen Mary 2, and that is a huge ship. And the lecture theatre holds 400 people, and it's got a planetarium in it. So you need to get training in the planetarium, and you're on a planetarium show, which you need to design as well. And then you give a lecture afterwards. And then you take people up on deck with a laser pointer, and you show them the constellations for real. That is really good fun. I really enjoyed that. So
wow, how many years did you do that for?
I did that for about 4 years. Yeah.
That's really good.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's really good. Mr. Numbers, my new friend, we've been sending each other direct messages on Twitter, and I know who he really is. I know his real name. He says, how did Tom get so interested in an aspect of astronomy that is so dependent on chance, very random?
Well, when you live in the UK, you feel you want to make a real contribution, and that's what I felt I wanted to do. You need to do something that's less dependent on the quality of the skies. I mean, looking for supernova is really a binary effect. It's either there or it isn't. Well, other than the fact you sometimes get spurious noise and stuff up like that. But, you can patrol in some really quite poor skies. You can just extend the exposure time of the camera, or sometimes you can sort of stack images together, even in poor nights. And you either decide there's a supernova there or it isn't. So it fitted in quite well with the type of skies that we have in the UK. And, you know, if we'd had skies like the type they've got in Arizona, gosh, I tried to think how many supernova we'd have discovered, because there's a whole team of supernova discoverers in the UK, or there was when I was doing it. And there's still people looking for them now. But, you know, a lot of the big surveys are now scooping up the supernovae, and it's getting harder and harder to actually find them.
So then, okay, it's nice to get to know you a little bit better. Now, what's that? One word. No, hang on, wait a minute. 2 words.
I have no idea. Oh, a book. Oh, sorry, I forgot you. I didn't realize we were doing charades. I thought we were still on anagrams. 1 word. Second letter.
I think we need to refresh on the rules. 2 words. First word.
Oh. Dark. Second word. Yeah. Oh, yes. Energy.
Tom's book is called Dark Energy. I'm sweating after that. No wonder Lionel Blair. Was it Lionel Blair and give us a clue? No wonder he always had a sheen on his face. Tell us about your lovely new book, Tom, Dark Energy. And show it, please.
Well, it's a little bit of fantasy built in me being an astronomer, you see. Because Bruce Willis is an astronomer, and I thought maybe make a difference having an astronomer as the hero of a novel.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's sort of, he freelances for MI6. And, you know, since the Cold War, most sort of spying solutions tend to be technical solutions rather than real sort of spying stuff. So he gets involved in solving problems, using his brain and stuff like that. So, yeah, the book starts off really with explosions taking place in scientific establishments, and there's sabotage going on and people get killed. And MI6 asks them to go in and infiltrate the scientists and find out really what's going on. And that's when the book starts to get interesting. I think it's a chance for, I feel like, fellow astronomers to imagine themselves in his shoes and imagine they're doing what he's doing, you know? And my wife said it's definitely my alter ego. So, you know, she's probably right. So,
you know, have you got the book? Tom, hold the book up, please.
Oh, hold the book. Okay.
You need to see the book. So this is Tom's fiction book, Dark Energy, with Brad Willis, the action hero spy. Is he a spy? I'm just going to read the Amazon description here. It says, when 2 explosions occur, killing 3 people, the scientific... So each explosion only killed 1.5 people. The scientific community is on full alert. The explosions appear to be unrelated. Their only connection is that they happened in the scientific centers of excellence in Switzerland and the US. Brad Willis knows that he must uncover the secret to save more lives from being lost. MI6 calls on Willis to use his background as an astronomer to infiltrate the site of the LHC to discover the truth behind the claims. When Willis starts to uncover the facts, everyone is under suspicion, including Cosmo, until they start dying. The situation gets more dangerous as 2 killers hunt him down. It sounds rip-roaring.
Well, it's full of action. It's full of action. You don't have time to take a breath when you read it. It just keeps going from one piece of action to the next. So, oh, by the way, that image is the same image I've got in the background here. Yeah, and it's an excellent image by Damien Peach, and he gave me permission to use it. So that's where the image for the book comes from. Excellent it is.
So is this the first or the second or the third book?
This is the first book. It's going to be a trilogy. The second book is finished, and it's with the editors as we speak, and probably will see the light of day probably in 6 or 8 weeks, I think. So that's, if you've read the first book, that's something to look forward to. And I know a lot of viewers to Popular Astronomy have read it, because after Margaret Penson's excellent review in the magazine, the sales just jumped way up. So thank you for everybody who bought it. Very much appreciated. And I've managed to score so far. I've got something like 20 reviews, which is not bad, because they reckon that less than 2% of people who read a book actually leave a review. So that's a very, very good result. So if you have read it, don't forget, leave a review. It makes people notice a book, and it sort of helps them to sort of decide whether they want to read it or not. So the more reviews you get, the better. So that's my advert finished.
No, it's fine, Tom, because I've taken many months out of my life and attempted to write 3 or 4 books. And I'm a writer by trade, but I write short form stuff. And I've attempted to write multiple books, and every single one has disintegrated into, just fractalized into disarray. So tell us about the writing process, because
strangely enough, this one's the very same. I started this book, must have been 14 years ago. And then it ended up sort of in a hard drive somewhere and not taking any more notice of it. And then lockdown started. So that concentrated the mind. I had an illness problem, and I've been locked down more strictly than most people. So I just sat down and I knuckled down and I did it. And it's funny, when you start writing, the whole writing process takes over. The book becomes alive. The story becomes alive. And, there's 2 schools of thought. Some writers sit down and they plan their whole book before they start. Others go by the seat of their pants. Well, I'm sort of probably halfway between the two. I've got a rough idea what I want to write. But then as I start to write the story, this happens and that happens. And then you say, if I could twist that around and make this happen back here, the 2 things would link together very nicely. And so it's like reading a book that you can control, and you can make things happen the way you want them to happen. So you're never disappointed in the outcome. If something happens, you say, let's kill that guy. So if this guy gets killed and or he gets injured or something. And it's just like reading a book, but a lot more fun than reading a book, believe me.
Wow. Okay. So what's the second book about then?
Well, Brad in the second book is sent to Antarctica because he's sent down to work in the South Pole telescope. There is a telescope at the South Pole. Nice. It's actually sitting in the ice. And he's sent down there because there's these mysterious radio bursts taking place over the continent. And they're so powerful that they can blank out electricity supplies, and they can cause planes flying to lose control because they start to interfere with the electronics in the plane.
Oh, I definitely think it's those penguins. It's the penguins of harnessed gamma ray bursts.
Yeah. Well, we definitely know it's not the polar bears because there are no polar bears there. But yeah, it could definitely be the penguins. Definitely.
Oh, great. That sounds like a really good astronomical mystery.
Yeah. So he gets involved in the South Pole telescope. He gets involved in the Ice Cube Observatory, which is the where they look for cosmic rays coming in from space. And it gets really involved. More sabotage, more killings. And he nearly loses his life at one point. He gets sent to a really...
It's a good job you didn't kill him off. It's a good job you didn't kill him off.
No. He got rescued. And but there's a big flash, energetic ending again. So that's how it goes. So
thank you. You'll have probably noticed a small bump in your book sales. That's lovely. Thank you to everybody who's just purchased Tom's book and helped spread the word, because we're all such lovely, friendly, tight-knit astronomers. We all love to help each other. Oh, even more. That's cool. That's cool. So me and you have got something in common. We have both got no bingo wings, really. Why don't we have bingo wings, Tom?
I don't know. Why don't we have bingo wings?
What do we both like to do?
We go Nordic Walking. Yes.
A
Yes.
very, very underrated exercise for your upper body, because that's when you walk around with the poles. I do it on my own all the time, and your heart, there's a video on the internet of somebody doing it, and they take a short walk with their poles and their heart rate goes up 50% more than if they were just doing normal walking. And the sticks go down just before your feet do. So they cause a split second of shock absorption to take the impact off your joints, which for me is like, it's the miracle exercise. And the poles are only like, a couple of dozen quid. It's such a great activity. What do you get out of it, Tom?
Well, it keeps me fit. There's not many exercises I can do at my age, but using the poles, it lengthens my stride. I can go faster. I know the experts say that it's a bit like swimming without water, because you're using your legs and you're using your arms. And if you're doing it properly, you're swinging your shoulders backwards and forwards as well. And if you get the timing right, it's really phenomenal. And you get a really good feeling of satisfaction, because you can feel yourself just sort of flying along. I mean, I don't do it on roads. I do it in fields. I've got some lovely walks around Coddenham, and I just go into the field and walk that way. It's terrific.
Excellent. Yeah. So I can highly recommend it for upper back problems, and just makes you trim, I think, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
Now then, we're coming to the end of the show. We're trying to keep the show around about an hour nowadays. It's lucky for us that, unlucky that Eleni was not with us, but it did give us a little bit more time. Now, Tom, you've requested an audience with...
Oh, yes. We just said we'd have a little chat together. So, what'd you say, Cosmo? Cosmo just said that he knows everything there is to know about supernovae. Absolutely everything. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Tell me what you know then, Cosmo. Yep. There's type 1a, which is made up of binary stars, and then there's core collapse supernova, which collapses down and then explodes. Yep. So, have you got a favorite one? Which one's your favorite? Type 1a's. That's interesting. Mine's is type 1a's as well. So why do you like type 1a's? Because they help discover the acceleration of the expansion of the universe. And they discovered dark energy. Hey, that's a good name for a book. Yeah. So tell me something that you discovered recently. Tell me something new about supernova that we don't know about. Is there something you know? Well, there's a team worked out that core collapse supernovae they used to think they used to happen around 50 solar masses, and they've reduced it down to 27 solar masses. That's a big difference. So what happens after 27 solar masses? They implode into a black hole without exploding. That is incredible. Wow.
He knows so much. I never knew he knew all this, but of course he commutes to the heart of the Crab Nebula on a daily basis. It's fine.
Yeah. So, the whole of the early universe must have been filled with stars of that size. So the whole universe must be filled with black holes between 27 solar masses and 150 solar masses.
That's old news to Cosmo.
Yeah. No, it isn't. He's telling me this. You can learn so much from him. I think Cosmo and I should write a paper between us on these dark black holes.
He would love to help you author a paper. He's obviously he is a very clever sloth.
What you saying, Cosmo? He's studying for a PhD.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, because I'm funding him.
We'll need to call him Dr. Cosmo then if he gets that.
Professor Cosmo to you when he's finished all of his learning.
Cosmo, come in close. Come in close. I want to whisper to you. See that woman sitting behind you? Yeah. Well, if you become a doctor, you won't need her. You can do the whole show on your own. You could compare this whole show. Think about it. Right, I'll help you. I'll help you with your PhD.
Don't try to get rid of me.
You're redundant.
Don't get rid of me. Right.
Yeah,
Bye,
yeah.
Cosmo. Bye.
Bye. Oh.
Sorry. Cosmo is
Sorry,
no longer
Cosmo.
available.
All is forgiven. All is forgiven.
Oh, thank you so much. And one final question. Does a black hole have a lifespan?
Yes, but it's very long. Stephen Hawking's worked out that the circumference of the black hole, there was a thing called Hawking radiation, and the material inside the black hole evaporates very slowly, but it takes so long. Some of the little primordial black holes that they think happened at the beginning of the universe, the really microscopic ones, they've all evaporated long before. But big stellar mass ones, I mean, they'll be some of the last things to go at the end of when the universe finally dies. But yeah, they do have a lifespan, but very, very long.
Oh, thank you. Prof Sloth.
Prof Sloth.
It suits him, doesn't it?
No man.
It has been an absolute pleasure. Cosmo is disappearing off in his upturned frisbee to jet across the universe to go and investigate some Hawking radiation. And are you still looking for supernovas at the minute?
No, I'm not. No, I find it difficult now to stay up all night. And you really need to stay up all night. Sometimes just looking for a 2-hour clear slot to optimize stuff. So actually, what I haven't said is I've given all my telescopes away. I've given them to societies and stuff like that.
Lovely.
So,
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Doing something good now.
Thank you, everybody, for contribution. All right. This show definitely needs to end after an hour because my laptop gets hot and my brain stops working and Cosmo starts scratching at the door to go out. So I'll see you later. Thank you very much, everybody. And Tom, we'll have you on in a month or two from now. It's been a delight.
Okay. See you then.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Share the video right now. Everybody share.